Welcome to Test You, a place where we can share our knowledge through short videos. So anyone can send me a short video of any problem that you have faced and how you have solved it. The problem could be technical or any problem that you have faced in your life that is general. So I'll publish it for you with your name on it and in a presentable manner. The goal is to build a space of just solutions, and there is no space for any fake videos claiming that they have answers for some problems. So, what are you waiting for? In today's video, we are going to solve a problem on how do we migrate existing Selenium project to Katalon Studio. This can be done in four simple steps. Step one is that you have an existing Selenium project, and the step two would be you copy the Selenium project to Katalon. We'll see how do we copy it, and step three is going to be sorting out the compilation errors which you see when you are migrating your Selenium project to Katalon. Majorly, these can be classified into four types of errors. The first one will be related to package declarations. Second one would be mostly importing classes of different packages. And third errors are observed as path declaration errors. And four are related to missing libraries. So these are the only four types of possible errors that anybody would have faced or would face when they wanted to migrate a Selenium project to Katalon. We'll see this in detail in our video that is going to come. And step 4 will be how to run that Selenium script which you have migrated in Katalon. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, now let's see how do we do it. This is the Selenium project, CG time part, and let me show a sample test case. Let me run it first, and then we will migrate it to Katalon and then run it over there. So this is a sample test case which will run into Orange HRM base and add an employee. Okay, so let me run it. So while running, I'll just show you. So this is the simplest framework. I try to pick it up here. Priority 1, 2, they are run and it is success. So yeah, now let me close it. So this is a successful test now which is run in Selenium, and we are going to show uh, how do we migrate it into Katalon. And there'll be it is not going to be very simple like it is believed that migrating from Selenium to Katalon is very simple, but it's not very simple. Let me show you what kind of errors you have to deal with before you make it a successful migration to Katalon. Okay, now let's see that one. Let me open Katalon. This is my Katalon studio, and it has some project as Selenium 2 Katalon is the project name. You can see it. It has some test cases. Let's forget about them. And this is the place where we actually have to migrate our Selenium framework. It should be under Groovy. Okay, so now let me go to this path. Remove, okay, this path. So see, this is our Selenium project, CG time cards. Okay, so now I have to migrate it into Katalon. We just have to copy it. And this is our Katalon project. Go to this one, go to scripts, go to Groovy. We have to main. You just have to paste it. So that is the impression that Katalon has made on everybody, that you just have to move your Selenium framework to here and it will just work magically. But in reality, that's not correct. I'll show you why it is. So I copied it over there. I refreshed it. It is building the workspace. See, it is actually there, but you can't see it here. Let me refresh it again. See, still it didn't appear, right? Okay, there is a small problem with Catalan at this point, which is what I want to highlight. That's why I did it wrong purposefully. For some problems, Catalan, it's not a problem. It may be the way the Catalan is designed. So you can't just copy it directly. Instead, you have to first create a package here and then copy your Selenium framework into this package which you are creating, and only then it will work. It is the same way that you have to do in data files also. So people who have uh, started working with data files will understood how it is similar to copy Selenium framework also. So let me undo this. So let me delete this one. So I have deleted. Let me create a package with the same name as that of Selenium project. Okay, let me create a package. The same name of Selenium project, GCG time card. So in reality, you can actually give some other name, but I wanted to give you an impression that okay, I'm actually copying the Selenium framework as it is. That's why I use the same name. Now you can see the folder is created, and let's go back. So now we can copy it. So instead of copying this part, I'm going to copy everything inside it so that it won't create a duplicate folder with the same name. So I took I copied that one and I go to the same path. Inside includes scripts, inside Groovy. This is CG Tanka, and I placed my framework here. So now let's go to Katalon and let's refresh it. So for okay, it's building it. Let's see. Okay, it didn't. Okay, it appeared. Okay, yeah, it has appeared, but it didn't appear completely. So let me refresh it again. So, okay, just before even refreshing it, it is here. So just in case if you don't find it here, just try doing it, doing the refresh again, and that's it. Okay, so now we got the project. So along with the project, we also got a gift of 242 compilation plus. So this is what I'm talking about. So migration is not that simple like uh, you assume when you hear that okay, I can just migrate a Selenium project to Katalon and start working on it. So it's not going to be that easy. So you have to sort out these compilation errors first, and then only you can work on it. So there are many types of compilation errors that will appear, and we are going to see them. So possibly there will be four types of errors. I'm going to explain one by one uh, by showing how anyone can observe the errors and how to sort it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have to run the test case which I have run in Selenium earlier. So I go to the test case and I go here. So I opened it and it has some errors. So let's see the number of errors. It is 17 errors. So out of 242, 17 errors are linked to this particular test case. So similarly, there will be many other test cases which have these kind of compilation errors. So ideally, to make your framework error free, you have to open each package and open each class and sort out these compilation errors. Only then uh, you say that okay, your Selenium framework is completely migrated to Katalon and you can work it. So that is a big task in front of you. Though it is big in size, it is very easy to do because these are compilation errors which will be sorted out very easily like this. See, like I said, there are four types of errors. First one is related to package. So the path is actually causing the problem. So in Selenium, this is actually recognized easily because your source foldering starts after Java. So after Java, this is what it is. So every package will recognize when you start uh, calling it from this point because this up to this point it is considered as a source folder. But however, in Katalon, the source foldering starts from include. So this won't recognize it uh, because this is not going to be the source folder starting point. So your source folder starting point is going to be that comes after Groovy inside include, which is cg timecard dot whatever it is. So that is first type of error. So let us solve this one. So change package declaration to CG timecard. So this save it. And you see that error is solved. So the second type of error is when relates to importing the correct classes or methods or objects. So here it is trying to indicate that okay, you have to import this one to so that this will be recognized. But actually, let us see. It is already imported, but still, see, it is already imported, right? But still, it failed to recognize it. And it is again for the same reason that it has not able to identify uh, the path, the source path. Save it. See, all the errors are resolved now. So that's how you do it. And there is another way that you can organize the imports, which will automatically sort out these errors. For that, you have to go to sources and click on organize imports. So it is very easy. I mean, you have to change the package, you have to sort out the package error, and then do Control Shift O, which is organize imports, which will sort out the other types of errors. So these are the two types of errors, and the third type will be related to paths. Paths such as where you have used this as your source folder. So this is actually going to return your source folder in Selenium, but our source folder in Katalon is going to be different. So it will cause problems wherever you have used this statement to capture your path, which you would have done eventually in many of your reusable functions or declaring static paths in static variables. So that is the second place where you have to sort it out. So that's the third type of error. And fourth type of error is related to libraries. So there'll be different types of jar files you will be using. For example, POI jar files in order to handle the Excel sheets uh, and extend reports related jar files to create extend reports. Likewise, based on your needs, you will use many jar files in Selenium. So some of those jar files might not be automatically available in Katalon. Mostly they will be available, but in case if they are not available, then you have to go to projects and settings, and under settings go to external libraries, go to add folder, and then go to the place where the jar files are there and add them. So that's how you solve this fourth type of error. So these are the most types of errors you see But the better way to do it is by tracking it back. Like you choose a test case which you wanted to run. Likewise, you choose all your test cases which you wanted to run. Just open them and start solving the errors. And finally, you'll reach a point where you sort out all these errors and your framework is clean. So that's the bigger task you have to do. So for example, if you go to this one, you see this error. Okay, you have to sort out this one. You go to this test case, you have errors. This one related to imports. I guess there are 9 errors. So you have to sort out this one. So you go to your object. You have sorted error for this one. Now you open this one. This also has one error related to importing a package. So you have to sort that one. So likewise, you just blindly open every package and class and sort it out. Finally, you will get a clean framework. So yeah, that's a big task, but you have to do it. Only then you say your migration is completed. I don't want to solve any of those errors at this moment, but I try to explain them so that you don't spend time again in investigating what the error could be. So one blind way for you to do is first sort out these kind of errors, and then you may still find some errors, but you can sort them eventually. Now I'll demonstrate this using this test case. We have sorted out these errors, and we have also sorted out the errors which are dependent on this particular test case, which is related to our page. We have sorted that also, so probably it will run clean. So let us run it. So we can't run it here because Katalon is actually providing a way that you do it. So you have to call it in a Katalon test case, and only then you can run it. So for that you have to add a testng keyword. Yes, add a testng keyword. Let us delete this one. Sorry, add a testng keyword. Run testng test class. We don't want to run any suite now. We just want to run that individual test case. So this is the keyword I have added. This is take list as an input. List means list of test cases. So I am going to define a variable of type list, which is holding my test case. My test case is going to be add employee. Add employee. So add employee dot. So this is test class keyword. So it should be dot class instead of dot Java. So let me pass this. Easy, I don't want to just have to run it. So this will save you this one. Then, these are the errors due to the other methods. So let's ignore it and click on proceed. Let's see what it is now. Okay, it has failed. Let's see. Okay, it has failed the test case. So that means it has actually invoked this add employee.java test, but something has caused the failure. And Katalon is saying this failure is something which you have to see from testng logs. So it started running testng. Okay, it has extracted some report to study the logs. So let's go there and study the testng logs. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, it failed to recognize the object, and eventually, yes, first it hasn't launched the page itself, so how can it recognize that object? So, here it says, okay, the driver is executed. Okay, the driver doesn't exist. Why this has happened? So use this. Okay, yeah, like I said, this is the third type of error, which is related to paths. So our source folder ends it here, which is a Katalon project. After that, we added this one. So normally in Java, in Selenium, our source folder ends here. After that, uh, this part starts, or this part, or this part can be added to our user directory. So that's why it is able to recognize uh, resources folder which came after CG time card. But here, this is our parent folder. After this, there is no resources path. After that, what is it there is? After that, it will have either test cases, object repository, or include or reports. So the path is something which is wrong here. That's why it has caused the failure. So after this, it should be include and then scripts and then groovy. After groovy, it is CG time card. Yeah, CG time card. After CG time card, yeah, you see a resource folder and a driver folder. So yes, it will pass now. So now it should be able to identify the driver. So let us run this. Let's see. It is running the test engine. Yes. Okay. Good. See, it has launched the browser. It has launched the browser and it has to enter the credentials. It's not showing. Okay. Again something failed. So what has failed? Again in test ng. Yes. Okay, let's go to that path again. So it has logged. Okay, it is not recognizing the username. That's what has happened, right? Wrong with the username. Okay, basically I have already copied the part. Let me just go back. This is the latest one. Extend the report. So, the declared package does not match the expected package. And where exactly is this? Okay. Again, there is this package declaration problem. Where exactly in orange page? Okay, there is a problem in orange page class. Let's see what it is. Yes. I remember solving this. I don't know what happened. So let's change it again. So now this should sort out the problem. Should it? Okay. Yeah. This should sort out the problem. Now let's run it again. So for the And let's see. Probably we have sorted out all these kind of errors. Okay, it is running a test engine. Yes, okay, it has launched the browser. Okay, it entered the credentials. Perfect. It logged in. We go to admin page. Clicked on add. It has entered the details. Yes, it has done it. Yeah. Now you see it is green. So yeah, this is what we call as successful migration. In fact, it's not completely successful. It is successful for this test case. Okay, this is how you do it for your entire project. It is going to be a lengthy process, but it will be very simple when you start doing it. So for my project, which is in real time, I had somewhere around 14,000 errors. To run my first test case, I had to bring them down to 9,000 errors. But it didn't took much time for me to figure it out what was the issue. So once I have sorted out my first test case, uh, it became very simple, and I have sorted all of them. And yeah, finally, it is migrated to Selenium, and we can. So likewise, you can create many test cases, and you can call the list of test cases which you wanted to run uh, so by keeping them in the list, or you can use the keyword which will run a suit instead of class. So here you can actually give the suit in the sense the XML, testng XML, which you make a suit from and run it. So Katalon is actually a simple tool. Mm, and when you are actually using Katalon, you continue to use it because it has a lot more easily uh, usable features. In fact, it is similar to Selenium, but Selenium keywords are not graphical. You have to do it in Selenium IDE. But here the keywords are something which you can see it and start using them. And designing the scripts for somebody who doesn't know scripting knowledge is going to be very easy. You can choose the list of keywords and start using them. So that's why it is good to use Catalan in the beginning phase. But when you are at advanced stage of you have a bigger framework in Selenium, I won't recommend you to move from Selenium to Catalan unless until you have a bigger purpose to use Catalan for your long-term goals. But if it is only WebDriver project you are having and it is built on Selenium already, and if there is nothing that you wanted to achieve by using Katalon, which you can't achieve in Selenium, there is no purpose in migrating from Selenium to Katalon unless until you have a bigger scope in future and you wanted to do it faster, then probably you can think of it and you calculate your return on investment and then you take the step of migrating your existing Selenium project to Katalon. So that's how you do it. And I wish everybody all the best who wanted to migrate from Selenium to Katalon. You will love it. So once you migrated it, you can actually still continue using your framework by adding even more test cases here itself, uh, and you can continue. But there is no point in doing that. So instead, you keep your Selenium framework, and the next additional test cases which you wanted to create, you can start building in Katalon itself, and you can use both existing Selenium tests as well as new Katalon test at one place, which is in Katalon. If your project also has mobile tests and ABI tests, you can include them at one place and start using the advantage of Katalon to its full extent. So once again, all the best and thanks for being patient. This I thought I will finish it in some 15 minutes, but it took longer and it has to take longer. So please do subscribe to my channel, and if you have some interesting videos of solving technical problems like this, please send it to me and I will publish it for you, and the credit will be definitely yours. Okay, yeah, bye.